Check it. Check it. time for waiting is over. At long last, folks. It is time to get into the action between RBG Esports and Thunder Logic, the upper bracket finals for the Season 34 Advance. Kieran?
Good things come to those who wait, don't they? You know, I mean, we had to wait 30 minutes, half past, but in normal cases, I feel like this would be half the map already done. But you know what? We're finally able to get things started here in Boggs. I wouldn't cast with anybody but you. How do you feel about this match immediately starting off? Because there's going to be no knife rounds. We're heading straight into this pistol. And I think there's a lot on the line for, I'd say, Thunder Logic mainly.
I mean, I feel like Thunder Logic might have outplayed their seeding, but they haven't outplayed their expectations. This is a team that got demoted from MDL last season and is trying to make their way back up. But as it stands, Dust 2 is going to be their pick. They have the advantage over it on RBG don't play this map. But on this pistol round, actually, Shaniak and Brian 2K seem to bring it back. But G-Manchu, Pony, and company have made it a 1v2 for Brian 2K. He's a 3 or 4K, actually, to get out of this one with a win. He's got the third, taps the bomb, and he'll stick it. It will get planted, but G-Manchu has him dead to rights there.
Good little conversion to start things out. I mean, RBG, their history of this entire season it's been them being able to convert rounds that are otherwise incredibly difficult. They got things out onto a pretty decent enough start, but then, you know, there's a little bit of a trouble once Thunder Logic were actually taking the site itself there, but that's one of those things that I kind of felt like RBG had a chance the entire time. They are so good at converting those mid-rounds into wins, and I think it's what's really done them in to have that 13-3 record that they're currently boasting in the season, and obviously trying to get that grand final spot with that one map advantage. But into the second round we go already. Thunder Logic, they've invested every last dollar into it, and you couldn't even tell. They just got massacred, Boggs, and there's really nothing you can even say about it otherwise.
I mean, I'm not so sure why they went for the full force spot. They didn't have a lot of money across the board. They didn't have the Galils and everything that they normally would have liked on a full force. They could have gone for 2 half buys in this round and the previous, and honestly, Deagles might have been the better choice, but also securing a very nice buy in the following round, which is going to be round number 4. Instead, they will have Deagles, only 1 vest on Anderson. A couple headshots could do wonders to trim the economy of RBG, but should be a pretty easy wipe for the red-black gold as it stands. A dink comes in from Wiz. He'll look for more, but he will fall off the catwalk eventually. Locking down from CT. We'll take down Pure Anderson. We'll end the deep shot on the 1, but he will meet his demise at the hands of Walco, leaving just Brian 2K on low HP and Sharky to walk off the catwalk to their inevitable doom. The bomb drops forward, Molotov to force it back, and Pony's on the hunt with an MP9.
Another kind of expected result. Thunder Logic, yeah, they struggled with much of any ground. They don't have tools to work with. But that's kind of the unfortunate consequence of playing fully into that second, you know, getting high off of the fact that on that pistol you did manage to get the bomb down. You're like, okay, man, we can do this. But then the second round goes down the drain, and the third is just pretty much inevitable to give up to the opposition as well. So because of that unfortunate fact alone, RBG will go ahead and take 3 to start things out, and they're looking pretty good to head into this first round, I have to say. Thunder Logic, I mean, they have the better artillery.
They might, but they do not have the AWP. The Wiz has the op. 2 MP9s, though, still in the hands of RBG. So it's still a decent chance, but Waldo aggressive with the AK is going to go down first. Wiz will peek and trade, but trades favor the T's, as we all know. G-Manchu still on site with Wiz on the catwalk. These two players have to hold off the onslaught of Thunder Logic. The smoke wall is down, however, there might be nothing less G-Manchu can smoke criminal his way to victory. Flashbang goes in, but Shaniak is watching the angle, ever vigilant. Brian 2K eliminates Wiz. The op can be tossed to Shaniak. Hex and Pony moving in. Hex with 1, and Shaniak watching the back lines will trade him out. And Pony in CT spawn has some utility, has a lot of money, so he can definitely afford to go for it. A kill or 2 would go a long way to trimming the economy of the squad, but Shaniak will get another kill. The op will be dropped to him as well. Actually, Brian will just hold on to it and toss him to it afterwards. There we go. First gun round goes the way of Thunder Logic. It wasn't necessarily a full bonus round either for RBG, as they did have an op invested, but they will definitely have enough for another buy here. It's not going to be that great, though. Double ops, an M4, but double deagles and light utility on those two players. A very risky call coming out early on from Red Black Gold. And I'm a little concerned because one thing goes awry. They've gone for the double ops. And it could be in really dire straits in terms of economy, and they might not be able to be allowed to string some rounds together and really build up momentum here on the CT side of just 2. They might have to have a whale of a T-half to be able to bring this back.
So slightly concerned about my microphone and other news. Apologies. I seem to be back in action. Hopefully, unless I sound like a robot still, then I would probably dip out to find out what's going wrong. But I mean, I just want to echo your point real quick about how RBG, this is such a gamble. Often you see, you know, double op setups. It's not the most uncommon thing to see in the world from CT sides on D2, but I just, with the 2 deagles, that really is going to be the one that raises all the question, especially since none of the ops seem to be watching long. Pony goes down in just half a second to someone not even looking at him, and the first blood actually comes from G-Man Chu, who's doing a Metal Gear Solid impression on top of the A bomb site. Somehow, Thunder Logic are getting this one through. There's a little bit of a, what's the word, scuffle in the site. But I think all things considered, the expected result that you would have seen from this one, Fogs, does come through. And it's not very good for RBG at that. I know they're red, black, gold, but we're seeing a lot of red.
They still do have the lead at the very least. And that's actually a really smart ball by Sharky to toss that op out of the map. But for RBG, they definitely had a legitimate chance to win that round. The double op setup, if it landed a couple of shots, rifles to be picked up, G-Man Chu stopping that bomb plant early on. And it just didn't work out for them. That's the thing. They gambled, they went all in, and they lost it all. Hex might be able to salvage something here. He'll have the M4 saved for the next round. Nobody from Thunder Logic will contest that gun. But it still will be a very hard-pressed round for RBG to win. This is...
Yeah.
This is rough.
Nothing short of rough, too. I mean, I'm not sure if things would have been any better if Hex managed to, like, try to sneak away an AWP or something of the sort. But with that M4 being their sole guardian to try to get them another round on the board, I think we could be seeing an even scoreline, because I can't really be convinced when they're up against Mac 10s and they're going to get shredded with really just a matter of milliseconds. However, Hex is doing the best he can. That's a great flank. He's able to find 2. The response from Thunder Logic is equally as swift as they just go ahead and take out the M4 bearer. It will be picked up by the next in line, Pony. And unfortunately, his response isn't as great as his teammates. Does a little bit of a tag onto Anderson, who actually stays alive and kicking. The Thunder Logic, I think, still will go ahead and find another expected result. Pick up that 3rd round. RBG just gonna maybe shuffle their guns around, see if they can pick up an AK that has fallen strewn about somewhere on Dust 2, but by and large, I think this is gonna be a 3-3 scoreline. Okay, Pony, maybe he, maybe you ought to go for a miracle? Don't exactly know what was happening there.
He had the kit, so he wanted to go for the ninja defuse.
Cute attempt. I like it. But, you know, 3-3. I think this is a pretty good spot for both teams to be in at the moment. It's going to be another gun round on the board, and Boggs, I think we're right back to square one. We get to see these teams actually face off. No question marks in the form of deagles or pistols. Straight up guns versus straight up guns.
The only asterisk I see here is the fact that RBG do not have an op. On Dust 2.
Really?
They have forced that those balls. They're going to go for the smoke, flash things in. Welko 1 and 2. He's going to triple down as Sharky falls to him as well. The nade will chunk in Shaniak down a little bit lower. Definitely one-shot headshot with the USP, but Shaniak 3 kills from the dumpster, sending all of his opponents 6 feet under, sending him to the morgue. And he might have done enough to bring it back for his squad. He is on 6 points of health. But again, he has the big green gun in hand. And boy, if he's going to be hitting shots like that, I think he's definitely doable. He might have just spotted the player down towards CT. The nade will reveal the position. It goes too high, and Shaniak does not miss those, and Anderson is there for the trade. But the hero of that round was in Shaniak on the op. It is not recovered, but money is there for Thunder Logic to be able to reinvest. and it all goes down in flames for RBG despite that early 3K from Walco.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, I wonder how Walco feels after getting that three piece and just his team not being able to convert it. That just... It quite honestly sucks, you know. There's no fancy way to phrase it. I mean, RBG, that round was in their hands after Walco found that triple, but Shaniak is just ever the anchor over towards Zag, who will go ahead and even it up and actually make it oh so sweet for his teammate to close things out here. Very good trades towards the end of it, but all things considered, RBG, despite their pretty decent performance in that last round, it's not going to be good enough for them to invest rifles into the next. So it's more pistols that they have to play with. And although they have taken this early B tunnel's control, the response from Thunder Logic to learning that information is going to be trying to jet over towards the A-bomb site now. And you see Anderson has spotted so much information. He knows that he's being chased by the counter-terrorists. He's just trying to stay alive against the horde of zombie pistols that are chasing him down. But no, he won't be able to survive. His teammates have done all the work, the important work that needed to be, you know, taken care of, filed. And all things considered, again, Thunder Logic will find 5. I'm
surprised that RBG are just going for the straight save here. They definitely have an opportunity to be able to do some more damage with that AK. But they're just going to send the pistols in to be the human sacrifice.
God,
so they can grab that little stack. It's actually finding damage on Brian. I'm surprised he's not realized it. Eventually, we'll spray both of them down for his 2K to live up to his namesake. Shaniak might take one down towards the middle. Actually, no, it'll be Brian. He breaks the 2K and makes it a 3K, but he dies. So,
I guess it's 4K
kills, then. Not too bad for RBG, all things considered. But here's where they really need to win here. They need to be able to get the ops, and they need to be able to make them count. Wiz and just Wiz. Wow.
Huh. I mean, considering how many times, well, maybe how many times is a bit disingenuous, but throughout their entire season, I know that they have used a double op a decent amount. And also early on T2, they brought out the double op, you know, famously on that that double deagle, double op buy that they had just a couple of rounds previously. I'm surprised they didn't try to bring it out, whip it out one more time, but, you know, I still think a single op is fine, and Shaniak has been obviously on fire with it, but I think there's no holds barred. Really anything can happen at this point. Thunder Logic, at least taking a gander at the minimap, would seem that they want to go for a quick deck, but they haven't tossed down any smokes, any flashes, or anything. And because of that, it's going to be an utter nightmare. Pure R is going to keep killing his teammate, excuse me. And although the response from Brian 2K is not half bad, they're still at a numbers disadvantage, Boggs.
They are indeed, but it's still a winnable situation, especially with that Molotov if it lands on the pony. It forces him back. G-Man 2's been spotted out. He's going to take out Shaniak on the stack. Brian 2K sprays wildly and takes that second player down. It's all down to Wiz versus Brian. The op is in the hand of Wiz, but he does not connect the shot. Brian still lives. Brian sprays, somehow still alive here. 40 HP as opposed to 12. The flashbang's dodged. Brian's out of ammunition. He swaps to the sidearm and will be able to reload here. There's still a lot of time on the clock, but Wiz is dancing around. The op is still in hand. And somehow Brian is allowed to win this round.
Did we accidentally hop into an ESEA open game? Crap, that sucks. Jeez. What was that? How many shots did Wiz miss there? I mean, look, okay, that's unfortunate. It happens.
3.
I think it was 4, wasn't it? That last one as well?
He didn't shoot on the last one, I don't think.
Okay, that was just a very ugly round. I'm not gonna lie. It looks like Ponage TV said it themselves in the chat, and it's hard to disagree. This one is gonna look a lot prettier to start things out, though. No team kills, no nothing like that. Just clean entries out over towards long, and the response from RBG is lukewarm, but Wiz will go ahead and make up for that uncharacteristic whiff that we saw last round. And we'll actually put his teammate into a 1-on-2, a winnable 1-on-2 at that, which is oh so important because Wiz, or Hex rather, is going to be pushing through the smoke and trying to make it a 2-1 versus 1 early, but unfortunately it's going to be a 2 versus none. And a 7th round on the board for Thunder Logic.
7th round as opposed to the 3 from RBG that they posted off the back of that pistol round, Kieran. Remember, it was 3 for RBG. Now Thunder Logic has 7 rounds in a row. And it should be 8 because RBG's back on the pistols.
Oh, man. It really should be 8, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this long sight actually does some decent damage. I'm not exactly a fan of how they're peeking out right into the sight lines of Anderson and Shotniak, but Wiz at least I feel like has the right idea of how to play this angle, and it's by trying to get a couple of shots with your geek off. But only one kill is all that he's able to claim. His teammates will walk into the loving arms, the loving crosshairs of Shotniak as well as Anderson, and Sharky will be there to clean things up, taking down Hex as well. There's the 8th round that you're thinking about, and well, from here, where do we go? You said RBG, they need to win that last gun round. Obviously, I feel like they need to win this one, but I'm not sure what to exactly say if they don't.
You know, I feel like you were upset about Thunder Logic or RBG taking those peaks out long. I was more upset with Thunder Logic pushing them long. To me,
That's fair.
You have the pistols, you have to group up and try for something. You don't really have much of a chance. But if you're running through Fire and Flames knowing that you're up against a half fire and eco, you're just allowing those pistols to be able to get those kills a lot easier. But this mid-split from our Thunder Logic, rather, should be absolutely detrimental to RBG in this round. Already one ball, G-Man 2 takes down Alert. Brian hits the mouse wheel jump, but he's still going to get himself a 2K. Sharky posts up on the scaffolding, bomb will cross back into the B site. It will go down, and I'm going to say the save call has to come through from RBG here. There is no chance of a retake. They don't know that the health on Brian and Shotniak are so low, and the B site is known as the Bastion, where it is unretakeable. I mean, things have gotten a little bit easier with the doors flipped around, but it's still not going to be the best of times for RBG, and in fact, things will quickly get to be the worst of times, as they go down 9-3. Another loss, 10-3. After that, it's just a spiral downwards where it's almost unrecoverable.
I mean, this is already looking like that exact scenario. Full loss bonus in effect from RBG at this point, but that's not exactly enough for them to, you know, realistically get another set of M4s on the board. So these guns are probably going to be the big ones to keep an eye on. Pony, I think, could also pick up an M4 half armor if he wanted to. Hex, I mean, it's going to be FAMAS duty for him. And all in all, oh wait, no, I forgot. Never mind. I forgot how good the money was of the surviving players as well. For some reason, I thought they were in utter shambles, but you know, never mind. That switches things up completely. Never mind about the FAMAS duty. RBG. I mean, look, even despite that, things aren't looking great for them. Even with my Pepega mistake, I still don't think they're in a very good spot to try to get another round on the board. Because, you know, let's say they get wiped this round, they're right back to square one. Let's not counter chickens before we head, because that's a good start. Wiz finds first blood.
Dude, it is a good start, but still, no long control for RBG, unless Wiz has eyes on it, as the rest of Thunder Logic continue their escapades up. But if you look across the map, Pony is pushed all the way through the B tunnels. This is so much information. RBG also have Hex down in lower B. They know it's a 8A, and they temple with their shots, but Brian A continues his absolute carry here on Dust 2, eliminating Wiz rather in the pits. The bomb plant comes through from Pure for the platform. 2 on Cat. Welco might join, or he's actually just going to push on in.
So
I thought he was going to wait for his teammates to join up with him, but apparently, it's just go on first, and that's why you wait for your teammates usually, guys. You're going to take another one down, and maybe the final on the Pony actually will go down to Pony in the end, but G-Man choose a elevator will be spotted and shot, and Pony, there's no ponying for him to be able to do here. RBG, they're down by 7 now.
Double digits already for Thunder Logic. I mean, I think a lot of us, myself included, thought this would be, I wouldn't say an easy game for RBG. I mean, this is the upper bracket semifinals for a reason. These teams are pretty fantastic in their own rights, but right now, Thunder Logic are making this look a lot more one-sided than I think almost anyone would have predicted.
It really just comes down to the veto. Dust 2 is a map that RBG don't touch. They won't touch it with a 20-foot pole. Yet here they are. I mean, I think it's kind of an expected result, in all honesty.
I mean, at the same time, it is D2. I just feel like a lot of the mistakes that they're making are, I don't know, I don't feel like it's map dependent in a lot of ways on how they're playing this. I just feel like they're getting a bit too ambitious in their peaks. Their setups aren't exactly fantastic. I like what they have going here over towards A, though. Double stacked up over towards Catwalk 1. Watching over towards Xbox, but I'm incredibly concerned for G-Man Choose Fate if he were to get mollied off. I'm not sure what he would try to do, but his teammates realize the importance of trying to keep him alive, and they'll push their advantage found over towards mid. G-Manchu pulls over towards Car, but it's a 1-for-1 trade. That's exactly what I was concerned about. How do RBG try to recover from this? Cross won't be smoked, and that means that Wiz can have his time. Just play around and chat on his food a little bit later when he's actually feeling hungry for some kills. And RBG, this is the first time in a while I can say confidently that they're in a good place to try to find number 4.
I would say they're in a good place if they had more utility, but they don't. They have a nade, 2 flashbangs, and 2 smokes.
And 1 kit.
And it's planted perfectly for Pure, too. It was a risky plant from Anderson, but he still can do a lot of damage here on the ramp. He is flashed, though. Pure has to do it all. 1 kill, spots the second, but he should not be getting a third here. Walko will shut it down. And thank goodness for RBG's sake, it will not be an 11-3 scoreline. They grab 1 back at the dying embers of this half. 1 more round to go. It's 10-4. The best they can hope for is 10-5, and that's not necessarily that big of a boom.
10-4, but everything is all but okay. I mean, it's hard to exactly think that anything is going right for RBG at the moment. Thunder Logic, they're flexing their money. They're pulling out the Fnatic strat in the last of the half. Is Hex going to be our unfortunate Apex? Surprisingly, everybody crosses without a hitch. That's probably the most surprising part of this game so far, but they keep running to Sightline. G-Manchu, unfortunately, loses that duel to Sharky. He didn't even realize that he was going to be exposed, it feels like. RBG, for recovery, is going to be trying to, again, aggress out over towards Cap, but they find 1 kill, lose a second player, but Wiz is still alive and kicking. For how much longer, though, that's a different question entirely. The score is evened up right now, and Bog, this is still anybody's round.
Oh, indeed it is. But Wiz has a really good angle on Catwalk. Sharky walks into 1. Wiz will take down the next. Pony and Wiz. Pony is low, but Wiz is full health, and his big, well, not green gun, it's a Hyper Beast, but he's got his op.
Big purple.
Oh, that's a big blunder from Pony. He gets caught with a nade in his hand. Brian 2K will deal some damage, will not find the frag just yet. The Molotov will keep these 2 CTs at bay, however, another one goes in the window. The plant comes through in the perfect spot for Sharky to keep an eye on. Brian 2K continuing his work around, looking for that player towards window. Sharky's holding the same angle as well. This could end poorly, but Sharky swings on the Wiz. That kill goes his way, and that should just about anchor this round for Thunder Logic. Pony has basically no HP to really deal with, and, well, Sharky's got the back of Brian. 11-4 is the half for for Thunder Logic, rather, as RBG stumble after their pistol round victory, and they fall pretty darn flat to end that half.
Really only finding 1, I'd say, confident, decent round. I mean, as he said also, you know, that confident 3-0 start. I would have thought that, based off their performance in that pistol round, that maybe they would have a bit more promise on the CT side of things, but you know what, Fog, maybe you really are right, considering their history on D2 is very, very minimal. I'm trying to take a gander at the stats right now, and I mean, yeah, you really weren't lying when he said they don't touch D2 whatsoever. The record isn't fantastic for Thunder Logic as well. They're 1-2 on it, but I mean, I guess that's still leaps and bounds above how Thunder Logic or how RBG are.
Well, I think another thing to note too is the fact that Thunder Logic's style of play is not the most tactical. Basically, I'm gonna run at you with my gun, and I'm gonna shoot, and I'm gonna hope it works, because I got nothing else. I mean, 2 or 3 players of Thunder Logic don't even play CSGO religiously anymore.
This is also true, yeah.
So, this is a team that basically shows up for their matches, plays, and then goes back to doing whatever they were doing. And Dust 2 is the perfect map for a team like that.
God, I wish I could have that kind of level of skill in a game. Can you imagine?
I think we need,
I wouldn't be casting. I wouldn't
hours to be able to do that, Kieran.
Oh yeah, for sure. But you know, maybe if I just keep on studying, watching out Thunder Logic are going to continue their dominance on D2, I can try to mimic their form. It's 11-4 at the half, and RBG have had absolutely nothing to show for it except for that little pistol round streak that they had towards the beginning. From here on out, though, you know, really RBG, they need to win this pistol, I feel. And from there, well, we can only guess.
From there, I think range should go the way of RBG, but right now, Pure and Anderson are taking 2 kills. Walco and G-Man-Chu traded back to an even score line, but G-Man-Chu will make sure it's a lead for his squad as RBG look to get the T-pistol around here. At the very least, get a bomb down and try and do the deed from there. Sharky in the door, and Shaniak is right there as well. They walk through, but Walco has the angle, and he has both kills. 3 kills in the round. Plant doesn't come through from RBG, but they don't much care. They've got the round, the critical pistol round, to be able to even think of a comeback. But now they have to avoid the forced buy of Thunder Logic if it comes through. And it definitely will. Pure goes with the scout. Brian 2K follows up with another. And then Shaniak will save for the ops. He'll go for the PG-50, no utility. But still a very dangerous buy for RBG to deal with.
Most definitely is. Honestly, I mean, I think Thunder Logic really have a decent chance to win this. They've already stacked 2 players up towards Catwalk. We saw how lethal this could be from RBG. Even in the rounds that they're losing, they've had pretty good mileage out of abusing this area time and time again. Brian spotting out over towards the T-spawn has found a tag on the one. Wiz trying to even things up with a tag of his own, but he can't. Haven't connected, and still, things look pretty decent for Thunder Logic. They have half armor, and hell, even Anderson has full armor. Like Boggs, I mean, I don't think this is going to be nearly the kind of shoe-in round that RBG are wanting.
No, indeed. In fact, I think Thunder Logic might get a bit of an advantage here, but Walco, wait, there was a tag onto G-Man-Chu that all came through. That's still kind of even, all things considered. It's a stack towards A. The bomb is out towards B, however, which should be the deciding factor. The final kill comes in on the G-Man-Chu, but the B side is wide open. Walco is holding in through tunnels. Anderson will peek to his doom.
Perfect.
And the plant will come through. The is in he will eliminate Sharky, most likely in Shaniak as well out towards middle. But he won't stick around to find out. So RBG do stabilize despite losing G-Man-Chu out in pit. They will not go to the pits just yet. They will not head to train. But while we have a little lull in the action, Kieran, I heard we're doing a bit of a giveaway today.
Oh, a giveaway.
500 followers.
Well, I would love a giveaway if only it was for a rust coat pair of Shadow Daggers. That would be amazing. Oh, wait, producer speaking to my ear. It is. Oh my god, Boggs. My acting is pristine, but those lovely rust coat Shadow Daggers might be even more pristine. How do I enter, Boggs?
Type hashtag giveaway in chat for your opportunity to get those, and I believe we are rolling that after the conclusion of this match tonight. So stick around for that. Get yourself a nice and watch some great Counter-Strike while you wait.
I'm not gonna lie, I bet. Zeph just called me cringe. Come on, that wasn't cringe, Zeph. I was just going ahead and tagging it up. I really want those Shadow Daggers, to be completely honest. I think they're the most underrated knife. They, they're nice. I like the little animation for them. Okay, Zeph, come on, I'm not cringe. I don't like this guy. Make sure that he doesn't enter. Make sure he doesn't win, but you can most certainly win. Just, type that little hashtag giveaway into the Twitch chat and you will find yourself in a very, very good spot to try to win some lovely little knives. But, let's go ahead and gather ourselves, talk about where these knives come from, CSGO, and actually the game that we're going to be watching right now. And another interesting one, another interesting investment from Thunder Logic, I have to say. Very minimal, just a couple of upgraded pistols, but mainly what they just saved from last time around. I think Thunder Logic are obviously going to be losing this one, but I think this is another good spot where they can get some significant economic damage done. Wiz is already tagged down, and G-Man-Chu, only with Mac 10, might be overwhelmed by those pistols.
Indeed, he might. I mean, this is a really good stack for Thunder Logic. This is exactly how you want to play on a pistol round of Dust 2. Try and get yourself with a numbers advantage on the peaks. Salvage a couple guns, and then things are doable for you. Especially with Shaniak and Anderson having vests. Now they come in the middle. Anderson one. He will get traded out. Sharky is there for one more, though. And here we go. Back and forth they come. Brian 2K is still boosted up on the box. That smoke will not do anything on it. The second smoke fails as well. Sharky, though, gets forced forward. He's still alive, and Pure swings in. Sharky pushes through. It's all down to Hex, but he is locked down. He might just take one more. He's taking a tag. He'll shoot down Sharky at the very least, but Brian 2K and Pure. I think Brian 2K is the best chance here, though, with the P250. He doesn't need to stop holding A or D. It's going to be the easy hold, though, and the round goes the way of Thunder Logic. A grand investment of 2 vests, a scout, and a smattering of pistols. I believe it was 2 P250s and a 5.7, a USP. That is about as thrifty as it gets.
That was beautiful. Seriously, I said that they were probably going to lose this, but I'm so happy to be incorrect because I think that was one of the best ecos that I've seen for a good while. They played that mid-stack to perfection. Thunder Logic just kept running into their angles. There was just multiple layers to how they're playing even the CT spawn itself, and now they're going to be reaping the benefits of winning that round. And Shaniak finds 2 with an AWP that he's fully invested. His teammate Anderson, again with a response over towards CT spawn, will be pushing out, able to find another one. Sharky will also be picking away. It is just a wonderful time for Thunder Logic, and it's a wonderful time to be Thunder Logic as well.
Indeed it is, but if you look towards Train, it's a very similar scenario to what RBG has. Thunder Logic don't play Train. It's a good little mop up there, the eco frags. Yummy, yummy.
That's true, they don't play Train, and I'm a little bit concerned for what that means for them. Let's see, taking a gander at Thunder Logic, what is their record on it? Yeah, 0-0, they haven't touched it. Yep. Man, you've done more of your homework than me. I thought I was like doing a good job by having my stat sheet pulled up, but no, I mean, you've done all the legwork, and you know, maybe Thunder Logic are going to be calling a pause. We're like, oh wait, guys, we're just about to win map number 1. What do we do on Train? Good time for them to talk about things, and RBG, I'm sure it's also an equally good time for them to be talking about how they can realistically get their head back into the game. They have 1, maybe 2 gun rounds left in this game, assuming they were to lose it.
I mean, to go to Train still, I feel like Thunder Logic might actually be able to do something. They've played it before, just not necessarily in the past 3 months. They played it during a couple E-Fire seasons, and I know they do, at the very least, know how to play it somewhat. But against a team that is so fundamental-based, like RBG, I don't think Thunder Logic's style of play will necessarily work. RBG has the best fundamentals out of any team in the lower tier of NACS.
Mm-hmm.
This is a team that has not had a roster change in, I believe, over a year now.
Yeah, that's very rare.
For NA, that's you usually see a roster change every 3 days.
Come on, that's a bit generous. Come on, 2 days. 2 days.
You're right.
It's
Speaking of which, have a tryout with Warriors later on.
Yo,
no,
fancy.
I'm joking, but I know they are looking for a 5th. So,
well, I mean, hey man, I've seen your opping style on Inferno. They'd be missing out not to pick you up, right?
I can't take the op from Walker, man.
I don't know, man. You can make a pretty convincing argument. Looks like the tactical pauses all
it was a tech,
finished.
Actually, because that was a long time.
Yeah, actually, no, that makes sense. I thought I saw like a double up on the tac pause, but no,
and I
probably
also
was
don't
tech.
think that either team realistically would call it attack at this point. Because for RBG, it's a lost cause, and for Thunder Logic, why would you call a timeout when you're just destroying them?
You know what? That's fair. Got wrecked by facts and logic. I don't know. I think
Facts don't care
RBG.
about your feelings, Kieran.
I knew you were gonna say that. I don't feel like this is the end of the line just yet, though, for RBG. Surely they can try to get a couple more rounds on the board before they, inevitably give up, throw their hands up, and take it over to Train. But RBG, yeah, it's not looking great for them. I think saying otherwise would just be a bit too ambitious and possibly a bold-faced lie.
They need to find a way to deal with Shaniak.
He really has been wreaking havoc this entire match, almost uncontested. It's been continuing since his first half. You know, that triple that he got out to convert that round that otherwise I think Walco would have run away with, I think is a perfect demonstration of what exactly you're saying. They have not had a response to him, and now he's not even bunkered up with an AWP. He has an M4 just sitting over towards CT spawn. He's looking at the dirt, but I don't think he's going to be sent to the dirt. He's just going to be trying to find a nice spot to send his enemies. Well, RBG, meanwhile, will slowly take over cat control and eventually end up doing an A exec, it seems. Very slow round from them. 25 seconds left on the clock before they're actually going to be showing their faces. Yeah, and Shaniak again. This is a great place for him to be in. Did I say Shaniak towards CT? I don't know how I mix those two up, but how could I ever mix the two up? Because Shaniak has such a distinct style, and that style is absolutely crushing everybody. He's gotten 4 kills. By the time I'm done finishing my thought, Brian 2K gets a 1K, and we are done here.
Yeah, I think that's just about his map point at that point. I mean, it's going to secure them a pretty much free map point, at the very least. If they can't convert this, then I will have serious questions about Thunder Logic, but they definitely should be able to get 15 rounds here. RBG probably just waiting for Train. That's the map that they know they can win. And Nuke, while they might not have a flawless record, they are one of the best Nuke teams in all of Advanced, up there with the likes of Third Impact, and I would also say Kinship was another really good Nuke team, but Kinship did not exactly have the best results to finish off the playoffs, so...
Yeah. Like going 14-2 in playoffs, yeah.
Thunder Logic, they're not a slouch on Nuke, however. So Nuke could get really interesting, and in fact could go down to overtime if we actually do get there, but I think we will. I think Train should be not the easiest time for RBG, but it should be like a 16-10 in their favor.
Sounds fair. I mean, Thunder Logic have played a ton of Train. Just wait for this inevitable conclusion of the match to happen. Here are Reflex's spray control skills. Takedown 3, surprisingly, I think those were all with headshots as well. I'm not sure how that is legal to do, but I think it's illegal in most jurisdictions to kill 3 people and just absolutely style on them like that.
Just CSGO things.
Exactly. We're finding 15 here, Thunder Logic, nearly on the board, but again, I think at this point, I've kind of given up on the D2 dream as well. It would be very nice if RBG could get another couple of rounds to at least boost their confidence. It really does go a long way if you can try to get yourself into the game, but really, the argument isn't exactly there. RBG are completely out of this one. They have one more gun round to actually make a decent enough showing. And Thunder Logic, they have been more than prepared for this for a while now. They have the money to spread around. They have the double AWP setup. This is prime Thunder Logic.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, yeah, the argument for RBG to win this map is about as weak as a strawman. And...
yeah.
If that shot connected, I would say there's a much more of a chance. Oh, Anderson, you know better than that. Oh, that...
Now that is an Ito peak. Unfortunate, but...
Is that what those were?
Explains my stats, you know? But, no, look. I still think Thunder Logic can convert these. Look, I mean, take a gander at where Shawniak is playing right now. It's in Shawniak first off, so he's just going to go ahead and corner peek. Surprisingly, it's only a leg shot, a Molotov off. Works as a nice little welcoming map for the inevitable win that they're going to be facing down the barrel of, or not. Surprisingly, RBG, they just decided not to look around at all. What is Wako looking at, dude? What?
Not the right spot, that's for sure. I'm not entirely sure what Wako was doing. I'm not so sure how Pony gets a kill there. But
that's
going to be the map. I just don't know how that round has happened.
Bro, what?
It was an ugly finish to a hideous map. That was a clinic on how to not play Dust 2.
Yeah, Thunder
From
Logic.
both sides, to be completely honest with you.
Knew you were gonna say that.
So,
I don't know.
If you guys are playing in open or IM or whatever, watch this and be like, okay, let's not do that. Because most of it relied on individual skill from Thunder Logic or luck. And on the side of RBG, there was just really nothing
Of substance.
Yeah. That was honestly a big reason. It's kind of like a textbook of why Dust 2 is a bad map.
That's fair.
I know if I had strong legs here, we could go on a solid 2-hour rant on why this map is the worst map in Counter-Strike. But I will save you all from my side of that 2-hour rant. And, you know, Kieran, I think I will save your ears too. Because why don't we just hit it to a quick break so we can all refresh ourselves and come into train with a fresh mind, with a fresh body and soul, and ready for some good Counter-Strike. But before we go, don't forget to enter that giveaway. It's hashtag giveaway in chat for a pair of Shadow Daggers. Giving that away after the match tonight. And folks as well, if you've been enjoying the stream, don't forget to leave us a follow. It's that little heart button down below the video player. Leave that bell on too for notifications when we are live with the next big advanced or any of their CSGO actions. So if you'd like, follow us on Twitter at Ponage_TV, spelled the same way as the Twitch name. I myself have been Boggs at BoggsCS. With me has been Ito at ItoKP. And we will see you all for Train in just a bit. The wait is over. Dust 2 might have been, well, a bit dusty of a round, of a map. But let's dust over that and head to train here. Here.
Oh.
It's a new story. It's a new map. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm really hoping this showing from RBG is going to be a lot better. As we have talked about, I feel multiple times that this is their map pick, so we do have higher hopes for RBG. I mean, they put together a pretty fantastic season, and obviously they want to show up with a map that way they can get back into the series, and then we would see a slobber knocker on Nuke. But for right now, it all starts on the pistol, and I think until I actually see how this goes down, all bets are off, and Thunder Logic can make any magic happen that they still feel like. An interesting stack to start us off. 3 people situated out over towards B. I think it's going to be a very interesting setting for this first round.
It's because Anderson has T-Con control.
Oh, it's good though, and well, I mean, yeah, they have T-Con control, but that's exactly what I'm worried about. The rotations are decently quick enough, but I think by the time that Thunder Logic actually get into those game-changing positions, RBG have already swarmed over the site. I feel like the T-Con, it was just kind of a one-pronged hold, really. They had that player, again, as you mentioned, situated in T-Con, but what happens when he falls? There's not really that much support for him. I feel the infrastructure wasn't there to actually make that a very, very useful position. Kind of a one and done.
The idea for Thunder Logic was if they have T-Con control with about a minute left, chances are it's going to be a B hit. But they weren't anticipating RBG going slow. And then those rotations just running in through smokes and just wasn't the best played pistol round from Thunder Logic after that initial kill. And well, RBG will run away with that, and they will run away happily with that pistol round. They'll have a nice buy with MAC-10s and AKs, but Thunder Logic are back on the pistols. We saw them have a very nice pistol on a long-range map like Dust 2. They'll try and do it again on another one, like Train, but it's a 4-stack towards A while the bomb is in Brown Halls of a Pop Dog. And it should be a pop out towards this B side pretty quickly here, unless Pure can put a spanner in the works.
I think there could be anything that could drive you wild. I can see RBG have a little bit of hesitation about finishing up over towards B, since I feel it's one of the easier places to actually try to hold when you only have pistols in play, and maybe that's exactly why Sharky. A great double actually gives Thunder Logic a bit more of a chance to get back into this round. However, from here on out, things become immensely more difficult. RBG now know exactly where he's positioned, and obviously will try to pop flash him out, finish him up with a MAC-10, and there goes the lifeline, the hope that Sharky provided to Thunder Logic. That flank is fully in effect. Pierre finds the first, and the second isn't going to be quite coming through from Anderson as Thunder Logic would have hoped. But overall, I have to say, a very, very convincing argument made by Thunder Logic to at least make that one a bit more competitive.
I mean, definitely dealt some damage, but it wasn't necessarily around for Thunder Logic. They took a lot of the guns out of the hands of RBG, but they only saved 1 AK throughout all of that, so they will have to reinvest decently heavily. But there's still a couple deagles here, a nade and a Zeus for Thunder Logic. That nade could have done a lot more in theory, but it does pretty much nothing at all. Brown Hall's control, Ivy control as well for RBG as they set the stage for a default, but looks to be an ace split. Pop Dog and T-Con control. Wiz, though.
Boy.
1 free kill, maybe 2 more, and it will be 3. $1,800 just like that. My math is better than twice.
Well, I don't think there's a way we can try to get ourselves $200 here. Otherwise, that would be something you could flex onto twice. But I don't feel like they're going to fall for that one twice, Thunder Logic. Probably don't want to stack in over towards T-Con more than once. And it seems like when they actually tried it there, I mean, sure, it's a MAC-10 against pistols who have no armor. It's kind of what you would expect, but it doesn't even feel like they even had time to get off a couple of bullets. I would have, maybe thought a wide swing maybe would have been in play. I don't know. It doesn't matter. This round probably wasn't going to go the way of Thunder Logic, even in the best of scenarios. This isn't the D2 that they were trying to pull off. It's just going to be a simple buy. That way they can adjust their economy so they can actually bring rifles and make it make it a real competitive round on number 3. But for right now, here, number 2 right on top of Hex. He actually makes this a little bit more damaging for RBG. That's an AK out of the picture. He's trying to go ahead and work with it and actually just go ahead and take it away for this next round.
Well, Brian still has a Zeus. He's not exactly going to be able to get anything with it. In fact, it'll be $2,400 for Wiz on the round.
If you can make an ace, then that would be a pretty
3K.
cute amount to have in your bank. I don't know. Auto Director for some reason wants to show us the dead body of Hex. And... oh, he gets it! Wow, that was like the lamest ace I've ever seen.
That is one of the most lackluster aces in history.
I know.
But it works.
Yeah,
an
exactly.
ace is an ace. It's eco
That's something you can add to HLTV, right?
Yeah. And now we can go for an op and still have 3K in the bank. Because he just made 3K from that Mac 10.
Yeah, good on the SMGs, good on the rifles, and good on that very long green pointy rifle. Wiz, I feel like despite some of his uncharacteristic whiffs that he had on D2, you know, in particular that very, very weird clutch that Brian 2K got, Wiz, all in all, I feel like was overall a highlight player, one of the few bright spots for RBG on map number 1. And I'm hoping that on a map like Train, where I feel like these ops can really shine, maybe he can have a bit more of a promising performance and actually lead RBG to a convincing enough victory. But still a bit too early to tell. A technical pause going to be coming through. It looks like Brian 2K's internet has decided to bet on RBG. That's unfortunate stuff, but I'm sure we'll be back into it within a matter of time. Doesn't matter, because this gives us a little bit of time to have a little bit of a podcast about the state of CSGO, right? No, but I mean, Thunder Logic, what are the big things that you feel like they need to snuff out? Have you noticed anything in particular that maybe my all-seeing eye has not spotted?
You know, I haven't seen a full gun round yet, so I'm not going to make any calls one way or the other.
Yeah, I think that's as fair to say. I mean, we could always try to take a sampler from D2, you know, that way we have something to talk about, right?
I'm just taking D2 and shoving that to the far reaches of my repressed memory.
I'm repressing that memory, yeah. I don't blame you. That was a very Dust 2 map. I think we could just send that bot again directly to like Strong Legs and he'd be like, this is why we need to ban it. Never again. Are we gonna see it? But
I would love Dust 2 to get removed from the map pool.
You know, despite the
Minus
rework,
Dust 2 plus cash.
Be kind of cute.
Ooh.
Yeah. D2 is just an iconic CS map at this point, but well, that doesn't exactly mean it's competitively map or a competitive map.
Right. I know Mirage is probably going to be the next one removed from the pool.
Makes sense.
It is the most stale of all the maps.
Hasn't gotten like an actual visual update as well, and you know how Valve likes doing those.
Gotten fully reworked since the inception of the map.
The Mirage, yeah, the Mirage CE, like that very old version where NIP lost their first ever game on LAN to Virtus Pro. It's a bit of CS history for you. So I mean, like
Ito channeling inner Thorin. The esports historian.
So here's the thing, right? So NIP had this wonderful 87 map streak, but it was all ruined on the old Mirage CE. Yeah, no, I can't pull off the Thorin accent, unfortunate. But
our producer Ponage has a really, really, really good idea here. Bring back Season.
Okay, well,
I am 2,000% on board with that. I have a 98% win rate on Season on ESEA. Give it to me.
98?
Yes.
Excuse
98.
me. How many games have you played on that accursed map?
Like
I'm not saying it's not a bad map. Jesus.
I love that.
I don't think the math checks out there, but hey.
That's what ESEA says I have on it. I don't question it.
Whatever. It's been a while since I've played Season. I mean, what did you think of the visual fidelity update that they gave to it? Not like the version that iBuyPower had their unfortunate map on, but like, you know, that version where, you know, Fnatic won LAN on that map. You know, that white version where it was all like Tokyo Mall kind of look.
I kind of like what it looks like now.
Hell yeah. Good taste. I think it looks pretty.
Yeah.
And I think it is
and it's not
a
as
pretty good time.
Cash.
This is true. This is also true. I kind of miss Cash. I don't know. I understand why it's going on, but I want to see it put back in. And speaking of being put back in, we are put right back into this match. 3-0, Boggs. I want you to take us away because, God, I don't even know where to go from here. Still early on. We have our first gun round.
There's no
and a lot
kits
of...
for Thunder Logic. They have to
What the
win
hell?
this by duels alone. Pure, though, somehow dodges the smoke.
Are you
2
kidding?
kills from back E-Box. He doesn't get spotted out. He goes back for more, but gets punished for it. And Shaniak's already found one on the op as well. Up on top of top 6. Sharky's dealing damage to Pony, the last alive, but he's still taking heads. And hopefully taking names as well. But Anderson has a flank. The op will be saved. AK picked up for 1. Brian might just reach another. Indeed, he will. Only 2 casualties for Thunder Logic here on their first CT side gun round. And due to their exploits with the pistols, RBG are not going to have the best of buys here. Even if they do manage AKs, it won't have a lot of utility. They're just going to go for a half.
Makes sense.
This is a huge chance for Thunder Logic to bring it to within 1.
I wasn't exactly a fan of that execute from RBG. They Jesus, what is it with the NA and their fumbled nades? Pierre just did the same thing with that molly. It doesn't matter. It's not really game-changing, but that makes it so an early TCON push could be theoretically possible from RBG. And you see Pierre's a little bit scared of it. But that, I feel like those are some pretty fumbled flashbangs from RBG. Yeah, they blinded Thunder Logic, but they also blinded RBG. And really, because of that, Pierre was able to get into a pretty fantastic spot, find that double, and put us into the situation where we are now. And I mean, RBG, their response with these pistols will be to take it immediately out through B. Bit of a slower take of it. Only have 1 player pushing out of TCON, but I think this will be that 2-3 scoreline that you're expecting out of this one, Boggs, because pistols, they're whittled away instantly, really.
Yeah, Pony, he might get a kill here, but even if he does, it's still not going to do much. The hunt is on an MP9. That's not too big of a loss on that by Train. Thunder Logic. Oh, actually, he takes out Shaniak?
Whoa, what?
That's an op and a rifle gone. Well, the op is C, but that's an M4 or an AK, actually.
Not bad.
That's an AK lost. All things considered, it could have been a lot worse.
And I feel like even they're a little bit surprised about it as well. They did manage to recover that op, but no AK for one of the MP9 bound players, but they weren't quite in the position. I mean, I still don't feel like it's all too game changing. Thunder Logic are going to be keeping those MP9s nonetheless. I don't feel like they're all too hurt by being bogged down, unintended bogged, by those SMGs in play, and well, it looks like RBG are going to respond to this newfound Thunder Logic by trying to push it immediately out through B here. Here avoids a flashbang perfectly, and okay, never mind. I'm a little bit more interested in what's coming out from this B push, because he's found 3 out of nowhere. That actually had a little bit of legs, RBG, to stand on after they made it out all the way through that rafter area on B, but not so much now when they get sprayed down by Pierre.
Yeah, it's all done to Walco, and he is not in the best of spots, Kieran. This could be a very, very rough spot, and as the nade flies in and chunks him down even more, he is down for the count. Anderson comes in from up top, and will send him down to the depths of Hades. So, there we go.
What a wonderful, wonderful round. Honestly, I love that from Pierre. That first kill that he got was monumental. Dodged a flash perfectly, but I'm surprised Ace ran right into his crosshairs over towards that ramp. It's a good start. Thunder Logic, as predicted, have evened things up and actually have a chance to take the lead away, as we're again going to be seeing a Deagle-bound T-side. Bit of a default setup right now, however.
Oh, Anderson a little risky on the peek out towards Ivy, but he does survive and deals some damage into G-Manchu. Hex, though, will take some pot shots with that smoke and try and keep Thunder Logic a little bit honest here, but the default on pistol is not necessarily something that usually works out unless the Deagles land their shots. And, well, from what I've seen from RBG so far today, I am, well, a little less than impressed with what I've seen aim-wise from them. They are going to regroup, though. That could give them an opportunity to take a couple players down and change the tide of a round. But should, in the end, be a 4-3 lead for Thunder Logic. On the favored side of Train, it is the CT side. It's definitely a 9-6-10-5 map on CT side, but still.
Well, RBG are about halfway there. If you go ahead and try to take that theory into account, maybe their gun rounds are going to be slightly more convincing. Taking this one incredibly slow, they're still really trying to work that default, but I feel like these pistols really struggle in the late round for obvious reasons. Thunder Logic expended a good amount of utility just to get into the place where they are now. 1-for-1 trade with Walco taking down Brian 2K, who got a bit too ambitious to try to take down a kill. find a bit of map info, but I feel like in of itself, that's not too shabby. Thunder Logic, they're still going to be sitting on their laurels just fine. They might just give up the site completely. No, and Shawniak still has a horse in this race, and that horse is going to be giving them all the free kills that he could ever want. I'm not sure how killer horses were supposed to work out, but, well, maybe that analogy didn't exactly work out, nor has this round from RBG.
They gotten killed by the killer horses, but it still means that Thunder Logic did end up doing the killing themselves.
Killer
and
horses,
they will
man.
run all the way back to the stables and take that one to the bank.
Thank you, thank you. I knew you would somehow drag me out of that awkward analogy. Thought I had something going there, but pretty sure you can also say the same for RBG. I like the idea of just trying to bait out as much util as they possibly could.
Ooh,
Thunder Logic did a pretty good job at negotiating with them, but they held on to that site perfectly. I know, that was a great chunk, but I mean, he has an op. I'm honestly not too concerned. And Shawniak is so good in almost any scenario he's given with the op. I mean, he's practiced it for a while. I feel he could just situate himself over towards camera and still find himself in a very comfortable place to get a lot of damage done. But another
you won't
slow
necessarily
attempt.
have to deal with Wiz, because Wiz is out towards Ivy. Oh,
Speaking of a good chunk.
So much nade damage dealt by RBG, or from Thunder Logic here. RBG did 75 to Shawniak, but you look across the board towards the RBG players, they've taken about just the same amount on 3. That's going to mean those M4s in the hands of the CT players are all one-shot headshots, not to mention 3 shots to the body. And Shawniak is a very dangerous position. I'm not so sure why he's so aggressive here.
Oh my
God,
god,
he's still going to take down 1. He will finally get traded by Team Chu, surely. And, well, it's a 4v4, but time is getting a little bit low, and Wiz might just get caught out, but he does the catching. Sharky will be not smelling blood. It's Wiz who will be reeling up that shark. Pure, though, is a good idea of what's to come, and Brian is the solo hold this B hit. The counter flash comes through, the smokes are down, but Brian's charging up. Walco waits for the flash to fade. He'll swing, eliminate Brian 2K, and now it should be the round for RBG unless Pure Redfish and Anderson can bring this back to their own favor. Pure has a great start here on the Wiz, and that might just be the catalyst that can swing the round, but Brian still has not left his spot in upper halls.
Nor has Anderson, because Brian is dead.
Oh, yeah. For some reason, I thought it was Brian.
Yeah, Brian, I mean, he was in a very unfortunate spot. Not much he could do. But Anderson, maybe he's, going to make Brian's death all more worth it. I don't think the retake actually has real legs in Thunder Logic. They're committed to it, but, I mean, the time was starting to tick down there. Sorry to overwhelm your point there, but I just wanted to be sure everybody knew Brian didn't come back from the dead. This isn't Valorant. He can't do that.
No resurrections?
You will not kill my allies, says in Shawniak, apparently. But all of his allies will fall, and that 4-4 will come to life. I don't know, man. I just feel like Brian 2K, he was in such a... What? Never mind,
Okay.
we'll get to that later. And Shawniak just threw his teammate, went down for the fight. He's going to find 2. This is aggression from... This is unprecedented aggression from Thunder Logic.
It's Thunder Logic. That's the pure and unadulterated form of Thunder Logic right there. They just take fights, they hold mouse 1, and they shoot, and they're darn good at shooting. It usually works. And well, G-Man 2 will try and shoot back, but
Wow,
even
that
then,
sucks.
he can't eliminate Pure. Double op set up and will not get picked up, actually. I'm surprised. Thunder Logic usually prone to go for the double ops, but I guess they're feeling the rifles here, especially Pure. He's 11-6, leading the charge for everybody. And then you look across the pond at the other scoreboard. 1-9 for Hex. That.
Yeah, Hex
Not a
was
good
one of
start.
the big performers of the entire season, wasn't he? I think I have a gander at the stats, 1.18 rating at 458 kills across the advanced season. I mean, obviously not the showing that they're expecting, but at least the game's staying somewhat competitive. Jesus,
Indeed.
that nade.
That's a very good nade. I mean, the utilities for Thunder Logic has been on point.
Oh, for sure.
And this is why I said they might not have any train games in the last 3 months, but they do actually play the map occasionally. They played it in a couple tournaments like E-Fire. And, well, what we're seeing here is Thunder Logic having a solid CT side as Brian 2K will live up to his name yet again. Still getting another 3K this time, looking for the 4K, but think that Shaniak might have the bead on G-Man Chu. But no, Ryan will eat some more eco frags. Thunder Logic will go up 6-4. Again, too, the money for Thunder Logic is pretty darn good considering they're on the CT side. They don't really lose a lot of players in the rounds that they have won. And the main expense for them really has been utility. They come out with these rounds with a couple AKs, and the op has not really been lost at all. Thunder Logic, this is a really good showing for them on train here.
So far, so good, yeah. I mean, sure it is that CT side, as we've mentioned, I feel, a couple of times now, and, you know, we can't forget that point at all. RBG, I just took a gander. I think they missed an A-exec nade. I think they're going for something fast, but they had to cancel because of that fact alone. Thunder Logic don't really have a response to it, nor do they really need to, but that completely switches the scene up for RBG. Canceling on what their main plan was, don't exactly know what their backup is going to be, really. What's their plan B?
Hope their CT side, but they still can make this T side viable, Kieran. Especially with that opening pick from Hex. He does finally chime in, but Pure is in a really good spot to shut this Pop Dog rotation down if they went down the ladder. He will still throw utility out. Flashbang down. Pure blind.
Oh,
that
flash!
He's not blind.
Wait, what?
At least it
saw
doesn't
his
show
arm
up
over
as
his...
blind.
What?
Yeah, I guess. Oh, I think it's what it is when you flash yourself and you don't get a flash notification.
Oh, okay. Well,
because there's
still,
no way he wasn't blind.
He totally looked blinded. That was a great pop. I was gonna use it, but no. Maybe not. Apparently, just give him the free kill. I'm not exactly sure, but RBG will gladly take those any day of the week. They'll extend that newfound advantage onto the A bot site. Sharky will be waiting for his inevitable demise. 2-on-5. Anderson has a real chance to make this one work out. The flank is great, and it actually converts it into 2 kills. And Shaniak, in the meanwhile, has found another. And what has happened? It's a 2 versus 5 into a 2 versus 2. And it's still barely begun. This retake has so much time to work with. Anderson will continue to deliver. How is this working for Thunder Logic? It is truly Thunder Logic. At this point, it's counter logic. Whatever fancy phrase you want to use, nothing can seem to calm the beast that is Thunder Logic. I cannot believe it. They've done it.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, what is ESEA advanced?
That was a clutch play from Anderson.
Oh, for sure.
That was a clutch play from Anderson.
Gotta be onto him.
Honestly, if I'm Thunder Logic, I'm calling a timeout here to clear the comms.
Yeah.
And also to instill the tilt in RBG. KJ has his work cut out for him right now. Because I'm sure he's about as tilted, if not more, than the players.
He's got to be. That was a softball, you know?
That was a slow fastball over the... It was a slow pitch over the plate. And RBG swung completely under the ball.
I don't
Either that,
know.
Or it was a nice, easy lob, to do an American football analogy, and Thunder Logic just jumped up and stole it and intercepted it and ran it back for a pick 6. And that was a round that RBG should have had in the end zone, and Thunder Logic just ran it all the way back.
I'm genuinely baffled. I mean, judging by how long this is taking, maybe it is a technical pause. You know, maybe all of RBG's monitors turned off or something. I don't even think that would still explain.
It's not Brian disconnecting again.
I would imagine, no. Yeah, he's
still here.
He's dancing.
He's vibing.
I mean, I think this is going to be a good time for us to try to think about how that happened, but I think I need to rewatch it again, break it down from multiple angles. I mean, look, fair play to Shaniak and Anderson. Sorry, what's
Anderson did so much work individually.
Sure.
That third kill was insane. The Molotov was also impeccable.
I still, can't believe it.
I'm at a loss here as to how that happened.
It's one of the strangest rounds I think we've seen so far this entire game. Thunder Logic maybe, counting their lucky stars for getting away with that one. I mean, that's 7 rounds, effectively 8 if they can extend this advantage because the money isn't great. 9 even, yeah.
because it's a
Really?
full investment from RBG.
Yeah, true. For some reason, I guess I've been playing enough Valorant to the fact where I thought you could sell your guns, because I don't think this is exactly a full buy sort of scenario. Wiz,
It's not. I mean,
I
he can
mean,
have an AK with a flash and a smoke, but even
I
then,
don't think that's too
RBG's their
shabby.
utility hasn't been doing well.
Yeah,
You know what they
I
haven't
mean,
tried though?
I feel like their quick A exec that they had previously, they fumbled the smoke. I want to see them try that A exec again, just unfortunately,
I want to see him rush B.
you want to see them rush B.
It's
I
the one
mean,
thing they haven't tried.
last time they did it, Brian 2K managed it pretty well when they were against Pistols, and the time before that, it was actually Pure playing B who shut it out with that
Well, that's because
triple
they
that
didn't
we
use any
saw.
utility on it.
Yeah, that seems
No
to be a
flashbangs, no
lacking
smokes to
thing.
H2,
The
and they
util's really
waited. It
not
wasn't
been great.
exactly a fast play either.
This is fair.
They just need to go.
A full-on
Rush B,
exec,
no stop.
really. Hell, I think the best exec that we've seen from RBG so far this entire night has been on D2, on that second pistol. That they
I
just
think
did a very default play out towards B.
I
That
think
was
their
it.
pistol round here on train was the best exec.
That's fair.
The delay, Thunder Logic bought into it, hook, line, and sinker, and then they just steamrolled it.
Man, there hasn't been a lot of great storylines for RBG so far. Well, I mean, I guess while we have a little
They've
bit of
won a combined,
downtime,
what, 10 rounds?
it was, I thought it was 16-5 on map one, wasn't it? Or am I
I think
just
it was
very bad?
16-6. Let me
No,
double
you're
check.
right. It was 16-6. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not sure exactly what is taking so long for this pause, but if you want to, maybe is there something that could take this off my mind, Boggs? I mean, seriously, I'm feeling a little bit rusty, man. I need something.
Well, if you look over to the other advanced match, there are 4 teams left in advanced. We have our 2 upper bracket finalists here, Thunder Logic and RBG. And then you look down to the lower bracket. It was Third Impact against Lethal Divide. It's a bit of a speed run from Third Impact in that series. Pretty much demolished Lethal Divide 16-7, 16-9 to move on and play the loser of this game. So it looks like, at the very least right now, RBG will have a date with Third Impact to see who makes it into the grand finals of ESEA Advanced for that one secured spot. Oh yeah, it is the exec. It's fast though. The change of pace is needed, but all this utility damage. Walco solo. Anderson spamming Hex down to 35, and the double nade comes through from Pure Red Fish. Pony, 1, 2, maybe a third onto Anderson. Indeed, he lands it, looking for the 4K, trying to bring it back for RBG. But he's not done enough just yet. G-Man Chun Pony, 20 to 21 HP. Wiz has the most needs on the op, but Pony doesn't need health when he's hitting shots like that. It's all done to Brian 2K now. And he's got the 2K, but he needs the third.
Lord, how has it come down to this? I thought it would have been all over because, again, Thunder Logic's util usage has been on fire this entire game. Pure finding that double was a lifeline, but Pony almost single-handedly has dragged this round back into the realm of possibility. He's done his part, no doubt, but it's going to be all up to Wiz at the end of the day. The player who we thought might not have the best buy now has the entire weight of his team on his shoulders. 5 rounds would be, feel a minimum necessary for RBG, and they're 1 kill away from getting that important thread to tug on. Brian 2K, he's not going to let that one go. Despite the antics, despite the heroics, everything that Pony has worked for has all fallen down. It's tumbled, and Thunder Logic, well, they've won the majority. Now they're going to look to extend this maybe to 11. 9... I would say 9 actually was going to be a freebie for them. I think we were both saying that 9 was theoretically what they could get away with, but it's actually a lot closer than I thought. RBG have money for at least another round or 2.
It's because of that bomb play. But Brian played that 1v1 so perfectly. His rotation around the site, expertly played. That nade on Shaniak does so much damage. His own nade fails to do much at all. And that's not a good return on investment if you're in Shaniak. That's gotta hurt.
He's been in this situation multiple times, however, and we've always been surprised by Shaniak. This is not the first time he's been down in dire straits, with an AWP and 19 HP to speak of. He's not down and out yet. Well, he's down, but he's not out yet.
He is definitely down, but he can get up again and still strike. A wounded beast is the most dangerous beast, as the saying goes, and well, Shaniak definitely is a beast. He's definitely wounded right now. But one thing that's not wounded is his pride. He's had a very good game so far, but not exactly the most showy as he was on Dust 2. Then again, that's because he's on the T side, or the CT side, and he's just chilling out on the CT.
Wow, that smoke to block off Brian CT is such a set piece. They want to counter him particularly. They know, they studied how this man plays. And wow, the return. Wait, okay, never mind. I thought he hit that one tap for some reason. Never mind. Hex didn't pull off the insane. He's only going to pull off the inane. Retake quick in play. RBG are cleaning it up, no problem whatsoever. And Shaniak, it turns out that low HP will be a liability after all. And, well, RBG, they're back in this one, if just barely. They will find that 5th round. It took a little while for it actually to come to fruition, but this is something that they can work with. The damage has been done. Thunder Logic, I mean, take a gander at their money right now. 2 players are looking decent enough to afford something into this next one, but Pure and Anderson, they're struggling to pay the bills.
They are indeed, and it's not a good spot for Thunder Logic to be in despite their 8-4 lead. This could very easily, or 8-5 I guess I should say, since RBG just won that round, but realistically, this is the round half that can completely turn around. RBG win this next round, they win this, or I consider it a win getting 7 rounds of the T side of train. It's not necessarily winning the half, but it's a win in terms of putting yourself in success with the CT side, that second half. And that's exactly what's on the cards right now for RBG. How is Pony and Sandwich, how is he at 3 HP? But more importantly, Sharky's going to be able to get at least 1 on top of Train, only 1. Pony with another, Anderson and Pure, Anderson with 2. And Hex has to do it all alone. Brian 2K's rotating in. Pure has picked up the AWP. Hex is crouching in the Z, and he's going to be taking Z's as Brian 2K with the MP9 will spam him down. A critical round won by Thunder Logic. We go down to the round number 15 to see if we're getting a 10-5 or a 9-6. The buy again for Thunder Logic will not be the best. It will be there. Luckily for them, they don't have a problem with economy in the next round. Sharky's on an MP9 too. That's a bit rough, but RBG, they have the op on Wiz. He does not have a helm, but he has everything else.
I think despite all these doomsday prophecies that I've been saying about RBG and how their T-half has been, you know, very, very bad in a lot of ways, this scoreline isn't the worst in the world. 5 rounds is more than enough to work with, in my opinion. And, you know, this isn't Astralis versus Team Liquid that we're looking at right now, or at least Team Liquid Bull, let's be real here. But, I mean, I don't feel like this is the worst half in the world for RBG. Even if they don't get number 6 right here, I think they could still make a convincing argument to close that train and bring us map number 3. It's all going to come down to this last one, obviously, to try to find number 6, and with a full B execute, now you're going to have your dream finally achieved, and that dream of a nade will definitely achieve all my hopes of getting a ton of damage done onto RBG. They take a heavy chunk, but still are able to convert the kills for the players who are healthier. What a gorgeous shot from Wako, and he even doubles up. Holy hell, a stylish way to close this out, isn't it, RBG?
Indeed it is, but the one thing I always look out for a team that plays supposedly really well on a map is how well their T-side goes. And the T-side for RBG, just while they got damage, it was really weak in a lot of scenarios. And Thunder Logic kind of play like a T-sided team when they're on CT. We're not going to see much of a change of style from Thunder Logic on this next half. Man. We saw how strong they were on the retakes. We saw how strong they were getting aggressive. That's just what Thunder Logic do. Thunder Logic win most of their rounds on T-side. They don't win most of their rounds on CT. Their comebacks usually come when they're on the offense. And that's something that I think Thunder Logic are more than happy with. 9 rounds, they only need 7 more to win this map and win this match. And get a 1-map advantage in the advanced best-of-5 finals.
Ooh,
RBG, they need a pistol round here. They don't win this pistol round. I think Thunder Logic can win the series.
It just seems all but I wouldn't say over at this point here, but I do feel like this pistol is really going to decide a lot for how the rest of this match will go. 6-9, a very nice scoreline, but not nice enough for Thunder Logic to exactly run away with it just yet. Again, going to be starting up on this second pistol, and, well, I wonder if Thunder Logic are just going to go ahead and appease us by pressing W out towards the site. It looks like they're trying to take a bit of a more tactical approach to it. Sharky was like hesitating in the spawn to buy a smoke double flash. So just based off of that alone, and judging by where he's going, I think it's going to be a sandwich smoke. And probably from there, I'll hope you can hit your shots.
That's kind of what pistol rounds come down to, is I hope you can hit your shots. Especially Glocks on train, it's so hard to close that gap, but if you do, you have the advantage. Welco gets run down in camera, Brian 2K splits up the site, Hex has fallen, Anderson coming in from Ivy, and sends Pony down to the graves. One's coming in from Pop Dog, that's going to be the last player of Wiz, G-Man Chu fell, and it was a fast and furious ace-site run from Thunder Logic. And that, my friends, is a Thunder Logic pistol round, a Thunder Logic style, to a T. And RBG, if they don't win this force, this is going to be really rough waters. Thunder Logic should get a free 12th round.
Oh my god, they're buying?
12? They have to. They have to force.
I don't know.
They have to win this round.
I don't think they have to. I don't think it's that dire just yet. I feel conceding round number 11 would be fine. I just don't... No, they have scouts.
On round number 4 of that, or 3 of that. They did utility in their first gun.
I understand that, but I just think with how they're playing... Okay, never mind. You know what? I forgot how good scouts are. Walko is doing his best Searson impression. Maybe this isn't all too bad. I still just... I'm so scared of RBG buying up here, but maybe it's just because of that round deficit that we're staring down the barrel of. But we've seen a lot of second round forces. Maybe it's just that the success rate hasn't been incredible on them, but maybe RBG can bring us to that changing of the season that we also hope to see. G-Man Chu will be good for 1, but that's all that he's going to be good for. Now it's up to the rest of his comrades to try to do some sort of work, some sort of legwork to get themselves back into this round. A 3-on-4 is definitely something to work with, but it's not quite that free win that they're hoping, that hard-fought win that they're hoping for either. The numbers are staying so good for RBG, and this force-up, despite everybody's initial doubt, hell, let's be honest here, I was the only one doubting, but RBG are proving me wrong kill after kill, and so is Sharky. He's in a 1-on-3. He's found the first, and the second almost seems like a shoe-in. Oh, he's done it as well.
Can't count Sharky out, though, Kieran. This is a man that basically single-handedly toppled Third Impact in their series against Thunder Logic. He had so many critical clutch plays, and he's in a 1v3 here. He's made it a 1v1 against Pony. Pony has a smoke, but there's no kit. Sharky can buy the time, but I think Sharky's going to go for the shots here. Not aware that Pony is out on the site just yet. Back Mustard, he'll spot him. He'll just dodge it. Oh, that's a bad play. Oh, I don't like that.
Oh, yeah, well, bit of an anticlimactic finish into what could have been a crazy clutch from Sharky, but I guess he was gambling on Pony maybe running up on the other side towards Summit. But whatever. It's still a good amount of damage done. That means that the buy from RBG, while they will be able to piece it together, is going to have a couple of question marks attached to it. There's going to have to be an MP9 somewhere in the mix. Or 2, maybe. Not half bad, RBG. I'm surprised that Hex actually chooses to go with half armor here. There's only 1 AK in play from Thunder Logic. But, well, I'm not sure if it'll actually come to fruition in the matter. Who knows? Still a bit too early to tell that Galil has effectively become an AK against Text, which is perhaps concerning. But for now, Thunder Logic, they remain diligent in trying to close out this game.
The double scouts. It's a bit of a question mark in my mind, but it definitely can work. And Shaniak is quick on the flicks, and Brian has been quite good so far today on both Dust 2 and here on Train. Walko has to get this first kill, and indeed he does. That's pure gone and down for the count. The critical flank coming in from Pop Dog has been dealt with. Molotov to stall and split the offense apart from each other. The smoke will go deep as well, allowing Hex to have a good angle. He will take
Perfect.
down Sharky. That's the AK gone. It will be retrieved, but that's the bomb spotted. Brian, 2K has had nothing to spot. And it should be the 8th on the board for RBG as they start to hold things down on their CT side. The counter force from Thunder Logic seems to go awry. And it will bring RBG up to a 9th round as well. If they can keep all 5 alive, it's their economy early going. But Thunder Logic, once they get the AKs up, will be a different beast entirely. However, the flank from, I believe it's Wiz coming in from B in Brown Halls, should be the one that takes out Shaniak unless he peeks. It looks like he will. Wow, Shaniak taking damage today.
Poor guy. Very clean round from RBG. I think, you know, you've talked about how you think RBG has probably the best fundamentals in these, I guess, lower tiers of NACS, and I think they perfectly came into fruition right there. I think Hex in particular had such an incredible spot holding over by the E-box, and he held down that angle, and had full trust in Walko in particular to hold down the line as well. He could respond if worse came to worse, and well, okay, hey guys, welcome back to Awesome Games Done Quick. This is going to be the CSGO version. We're going to see how quick can a round be. We've set the world record.
Maybe 10 seconds?
Jesus Christ.
Maybe?
I think that's how we would look if we were to play against Thunder Logic right now. Or RBG, let's be real here.
I'd be more afraid against RBG.
Right now, yeah. RBG dealt with that eco just fine. Not really much to write home about, but it is another one to count up for the CT side, and now you're starting to see some adjustments come through from Thunder Logic. You saw a pump through the smoke over towards T-Con to try to pre-aim the angle going into the ladder. Maybe want to contest that area a little bit later on, but for now, Wiz will actually get his time in the limelight. He's taken down Sharky, a big name for Thunder Logic, dismantled. 10-10 scoreline is looking ever more possible and ever more likely, as they've now knocked down 2 pegs of the important defense. Or the important offense, I should say. I don't know the defense of Thunder Logic. Walko literally is just a turret. I think I've watched this POV multiple times now, and he's just been in the same place, keeping his crosshair trained on that angle, and it has worked every single time.
The health is low on 3 players for RBG, and Shaniak has the AK and Brian with him. Although Shaniak is out towards Ivy, he could take down Hex and maybe cause some confusion in the lines of RBG. That could spark something, but he has to peek the right angle. Spots the gun, that'll win the duel.
No.
And now things are changing. Out towards Pop Dog, the peek is not coming from Walko. Rotation for Pony and towards Z will be backed up by Wiz as Brian will bring the bomb through T-Con. Time, though, is ticking very low, 20 seconds on the clock. And then Shaniak has a lot of work to do here to help out his teammate and allow the cross and potentially even the plant to come through. Brian so low, a bullet would do him and stop the plant. Here comes the ditches, though. All 3 players coming from the same angle. Plant has been stopped, though, with Shaniak 1 kill. No more time for the plant. It's going to be the round for RBG, and the op will save. Most likely, the Pony gets the kill. That's huge for Pony. The money gone for Shaniak.
Oh, no.
And what was going to be an 11th round anyways for RBG has so much more implication because Shaniak will be dead broke. This actually could be a force buy from Thunder Logic, all things considered, to try and even out the economy. They will go for a half at the very least, but RBG are stonewalling the offense of Thunder Logic right now. And that critical kill from Pony in the last second of that round was crucial to the success of RBG.
Oh my god, they're just going to be reaping the benefits now. Another round against Pistols, another clean sweep, or so I thought, from RBG. There is a bit of competition, or a competitive edge, perhaps you can say, from Anderson as he will retrieve the AWP, but oh my god. Them being able to take down Shaniak at the last possible moment, just rub salt in the wound and add some lemon juice on top of it, that just... Oh, that's a heart. I mean, this round still would have gone the way of RBG regardless, certainly, but I mean, again, the implications down the line, we're towards the latter part of this game. I mean, we're in the last third, whether we like it or not. And suddenly Insomniac is going to be a liability for another round, which has huge implications. I mean, this is just catastrophic. Thunder Logic have thrown away so much good. Nice little shot
They
from
have
Ju
indeed.
Manchu. Man.
I mean, that's a really good way to put it here. Is that they have thrown away so much good. And they had things going for them so well to start things off, but now I feel like RBG have finally found their footing in this series. I know that RBG do struggle in the mental game. They get nervous really easily. But I guess now, once they fell down and had the brink of defeat on them, they're like, okay, well, I guess we just play the game and hope it works. Because they've been playing more sound Counter-Strike. Going back to their fundamentals.
Oh, Jesus.
Aside from that...
Yeah, that was... 3 players on top of Bomb Train is a God Tier strat, and talk about God Tier! Oh my lord, Wiz actually had the chance to get a double collateral there in theory. I mean, I was not sold on that exec from Thunder Logic. By the way they're playing this kind of feels like an eco. This was like one of the worst executes I've seen in a while. There's absolutely no footing, and holy hell, man, that was not a good round from Thunder Logic whatsoever.
No, Thunder
RBG will
Logic's
take that one.
T's side has just been group up, go somewhere, and hope it works. I mean, I was kind of joking about it in the chat a little bit. It's like, somebody's like, I'm curious to see what Thunder Logic has as far as tactical diversities, because I'm like, what tactical diversity? What tactics?
I mean, really, they've just been giving away these rounds, Fox, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's a reason they don't play trade. They probably don't like the map. They don't look exactly comfortable on this T side. While RBG are just, well, they got a decent amount of damage done on most of their T rounds towards the latter portions, and they just got to CT, and they're just head on a swivel. Walco again being a turret. Pony might just, oh, there was a chance of Shaniak pushed old bomb, but instead, it'll be another pop up. RBG will keep 5 players alive here, barring any Brian heroics.
Circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Brian will win the round or
Well,
get a kill here.
Almost certainly. That would be a good time to flex and show off his knife. Come on, that's the second softball that I've thrown at you for the giveaway. Come on, man. Come on. Gotta help me out here. Well, I don't know. I'm trying to think of the right time. Dude, we're gonna be drawing for knives at the end of this round. At the end of this map, excuse me. And it's quick coming. I just want to give everybody one last reminder, you know? I mean, not to play to the crowd too much, but I just feel like it was decently important. More so than that round, which was another freebie.
But, you know, what is that little code that you type in chat to be entered for that giveaway?
I don't know. I need to go on Twitter real quick. Hashtag giveaway. All right, cool. Wait a second. That reminds me, Boggs. It's hashtag giveaway. Type hashtag giveaway to get your possible rust coat knife, I believe it is. Oh, yeah, no, shadow daggers. I want those. Yep. Anyway. How about we actually get back into the game? I think I accidentally stalled for a little while longer because Thunder Logic have already found first blood.
Yeah, it was in Shaniak, though. And maybe he's found a way back into this game, Kieran. He's been a little shaky, he's been a little quiet, but he has opened things up. A good pop flash from Pony, though, will allow Hex to trade things out. The potential refrag from Anderson was there, but the smoke will keep the watchful eyes of Anderson away from the CT player. It's a group towards 3B, though, from RBG, and it's a bit of a misread here. They're going to go out towards A instead. Fast rotations are here, and actually, one of those 3B players has rotated back and sent it up the ladder. Purer spots out one. There was a double op on the T side. Purer takes down Walco in the heavens as well. The bomb plant will come through, and Sharky's going to push into Z and hold down the Cubby. I don't think that there's much of a chance for RBG to win this round. That's a good kill from Tony, though, and that could start the retake. G-Manchu, though, seems more content to save the double op than he does to go for it. And it will be an 11th round of the board for Thunder Logic, who will not relinquish this game just yet, Kieran. So it looks like we'll have a little bit of time left before we do give away those Shadow Daggers.
I think that was a much better exec from Thunder Logic all in all. Now, obviously, they had a little bit of help with Insomniac finding that first blood right off the bat, plus Pure, you know, doing his magic, but that was much better for Thunder Logic. That's the kind of form I was expecting to see from them, despite this not being their map pick, and them, for a lot of it, kind of shying away from Train in recent history. But, you know, I mean, if they can keep that sort of fashion up, we could see this actually go the distance, in theory.
We really could see it go the distance, and I wouldn't actually be too surprised. I mean, the way that RBG started, it really allowed Thunder Logic a leg to actually stay in this map, and not just make it a full decider on Nuke.
Oh, for sure.
I thought that this was going to be another wash of a map, and that we would see Nuke sooner rather than later, but as you can obviously tell, despite our late start, we are still running pretty long. And
I gotta say,
Thunder Logic, well, this is their time to shine. There's still buys left in the bank of RBG, at least one more full buy with Ops. But Thunder Logic, if they are able to win the next 2 rounds, would put themselves on the very least 14 for essentially free. At that point, it's again, nades from RBG seems to be better than Thunder Logic's. Thunder Logic usually only gets their massive damage done off a stack, not just one singular chunk. Walco, though, looks to be doing damage with his gun, takes a bunch of shots, but it's not going to be a kill for Sharky. Instead, it's an opening pick for RBG. Pony locking things down from Ivy. Shuts down Anderson. Another player late from Shawniak. Pure has the op, so his health doesn't really matter all that much. But another nade comes in. That's going to do a lot of damage to Shawniak, who continues this trend of train of being absolutely obliterated by the hand eggs. Brian has a chance for one, and Shawniak will eliminate Pony. Now, things are about to speed up, Kieran, as Walco's flashing out a pop dog.
oh god, it most definitely is. This was not at all what I was expecting. RBG had so much good going for them. They're leaning on those fundamentals, and it looks like at the last possible moment they have come back to really make things sweeter for the season. They're going for this retake now. I was a bit concerned after the first 2 kills, but I think now we have found ourselves back into the reality that makes sense, with Thunder Logic again being knocked down a peg and RBG picking up number 14. I was so concerned for Thunder Logic. Their mid-round call, I have to say, was great. I like how they, I don't know, they had the full wrap, and actually the positioning was great over towards Ivy, having a player sneak out over towards Sandwich and try to make it out back 6 as well, and catching out that player who's hiding back 6. I don't know. I mean, Thunder Logic, it's so strange. Their retake setup was pretty not great, let's be honest here, but their mid-round call to actually take it out over towards A and force that back 6 position to be, or in trying to, I guess, force control of back 6 was just huge. I think that was actually a real chance for Thunder Logic to maybe even the score up, but RBG, again, they go back on their fundamentals. They had the numbers since, you know, basically the first 10 seconds. Walco has, I think, unstoppable though, and that was a point I wanted to make. Over towards ladder, the fact that he just keeps on consistently getting those kills, I mean, it's bringing RBG to this insane round differential that we've seen so far.
Shawniak looking for something to bring it back to his own team's favor, but he's not going to be able to land any shots just yet. Pony and Wiz still on the double op. The money is starting to thin out for Pony. G-Man Shu at 3,900 as well, but Hext, Walco, and Wiz are all sitting pretty flush with cash, or relatively so, at least for another buy. Another just drop into Pop Dog. That's a free kill for Walco every single time. And
it's a dry peak. It's a dry peak every single time as well. I don't understand. Like, Walco's at 28 killed. I want to know how many of those are from that ladder drop. It's gotta be more.
Good damage. Look at that from Pony on the Pure. The A hit will come in at the very least, though, and Hex gets caught out in heaven. Finally, Walco is dealt with by Sharky, flashing and jumping around. Pony, though, has equaled the score as Pure has fallen. The Molotov will keep him at bay, but G-Man Chu is still on site. However, Wiz will be the first one to fall. G-Man Chu next in line is Anderson, putting Thunder Logic on his back, but his knee will show, and Pony will keep the round and dreams of the RBG alive here to try and get map point. Gonna have to clutch it out, however, and he might actually just go for a save, but it looks like he's just rotated in through Z instead. Bomb has been planted for in Shawniak. Sharky is on the train. Shawniak is gonna have to rotate now as he knows Pony is. That shot rang out clearly. The nade will chunk both of them down a little bit low, but it doesn't matter when you're against the big green or the big Asimov in the case of Pony. Still, The op is not a multi-kill weapon typically, Kieran, unless there's a lineup and there's a rifle in the hands of Sharky.
Pony has been good though, just to not exactly commit to this fight whatsoever. You know, he wasn't fully expecting to make a 1v2 work, but Thunder Logic, you know, there's been a couple of times where they've been, I guess, been eager to give up the opportunity though. You know, decent save from Pony. Again, not too much to write home about. I think RBG are still going to be in the clear to have another full buy, and yeah, I mean, take a gander at that. Their money is looking pretty. It should be pretty good times for RB, at least when it comes to the situation economically. And while they have been given this free kill, or been giving up this free kill to Walko every single time, Thunder Logic are finally starting to learn. Sean Yak isn't though. That early nade again will chunk him down. Not Pure this time though. This is really the recipient.
Still the double op setups in hand, but the money has been bought down to brass tacks for RBG. If I'm not mistaken, too, they're on second round loss bonus. So even if they lose this round, well, they're gonna get 1,400 or 1,900. Yeah. Oh, excellent one, not the second. The fire will be the one to finish him off. Sharky and Pure continuing Pure to do so much damage. Pony's caught out back six. Molotov isolated him back behind the ladder. And as we open things up and speed things up again, as Thunder Logic continue their stall to explosive playstyle, 0 to 60 in 1.5 seconds. It's going to be another round for the T side. They've got to 13 and within one of RBG. They should be tying it up as well, as RBG will not have enough for a full buy. With 1,900 in the bank, they probably won't go for a force either. They will be hedging their bets on round number 29.
And that's exactly what I was hoping, again, to see out of Thunder Logic. Really, you can see the difference in how they're dealing with Walko over toward the pop dog position. You know, they had a Molotov first off, but second from there, they actually didn't make it a dry peak. You know, it was a wet over towards the ladder, and they're able to take him down almost immediately. I mean, just based off of that alone, Thunder Logic, they're kind of given a very good opportunity to finish up the round, because RBG really don't, they're set up, I guess, set up to deal with Walko dying early on. You know, this is now a moment for RBG to adjust their setup. Maybe have Walko not committed to ladder room ever. Become a robot, however, so I might reconnect quick. He should take this away while I'm trying to find my sentient chip.
Yeah, well, my partner here has been assimilated by the Borg. I will try and carry this well. We wait for him to be freed from the collective. Timeout, though, still has not concluded, so we're going to have him back just in time to start the round. Hero AK saved on G-Man Chu Molotov as well, and there's Flash for Pony. But for all intents and purposes, we should be seeing the 14-all scoreline. And round 29, we'll see who gets to match point first. And if it's Thunder Logic, it's going to be match point first against RBG. Thunder Logic coming into this game again as the number 9 seed in ESEA Advanced. RBG is number 2, and a team that many have pegged to be a team that make it back to, or make it to MDL. But Thunder Logic, they're trying to make their way back. They were relegated at the end of the last season, but they're trying to make it back for a move-up season in season 35. The hit's going to have to come in on the B, though, and that's where Walko has a USP. Wiz is going to rotate in as well, but the AK is sitting over in Pop Dog. It's not going to be the best of times. The nade damage is good, though. The damage is actually there for Walko to get one. Anderson will trade. The AK still not on site, but it is rotating in from behind. As Anderson will continue his offensive down towards Spools, where Pony sits. Hex is also in, but there's a man on the flank. It's G-Man Chu, and Sharky has been dealt with.
God, RBG are making this way, way closer than it should ever be. I'm back from my fight with the robots, but it looks like the fights aren't over whatsoever just yet. Finally, big pivotal who needed to show up for RBG to make this miracle of an eco round work. Well, he doesn't deliver, but he still, I think, alongside the rest of his teammates, have done a formidable job in causing a lot of damage onto Thunder Logic. I mean, in theory, if RBG were to win this round, the money wouldn't look great for TL. And that's a bit concerning, especially if we might have it end at this 2-0 scoreline.
I mean, it's a swing round for both teams. Thunder Logic would have a better buy than RBG, granted, but it's still not going to be pretty for either team, and the double upset will definitely not be possible for RBG if they lose this round, unless they're able to save at least one of them. I don't think they would be able to actually have a double op without saving both, though. And that is a very dangerous proposition. Anderson also has lurked his way all the way into the Ivy Cubby here, and while Hex might be in towards Pop Dog, that Molotov Waldo will get caught out. They might think Pop Dog's clear after that kill, but if Thunder Logic do their due diligence and clear their angles, it won't be. Wiz still gets one, but Pure charges forward for a second on the round. Sharky has taken damage, but Ryan will drop and eliminate Hexed. G-Man Chu is the last alive as Pope. Shawniak on and Pure will wipe the floor with G-Man Chu. 15-14, Thunder Logic map match series point. And they might just make it to the grand finals of the round as well, folks. Grand finals point. Here we come.
Relegated.
The bye is here, but it's not pretty.
Logic were relegated from MPL, and now they just might have fought their way back. That is unbelievable. They are looking... I didn't think I'd say this. They're looking good on Train. This did not look like the Thunder Logic I was expecting whatsoever, but RBG struggling when it matters the most. Look, don't get me wrong, this isn't the end of the line for either one of these, whether they win or lose, but they're making a damn convincing argument for themselves.
They are indeed, but there still is a chance here. There still is a chance. Monsters are there. Those aren't the guns I'm nervous about, though. It's the MP9s. Up close and personal, especially on this B site. Where Hex is playing, he has two players with him as well. And that looks to be where Thunder Logic were at the very early points, hedging their bets. They are rotating back towards the A site now, with some control to Pop Dog. There is one player inside, it's Walco, and in that angle, Walco can do so much work with the SMG. But still, Thunder Logic rather have not made the decision one way or the other. They're still working around, probing sites, trying to wait and see where they want to go. It seems that B will be the fake. It's going to be the hit out towards A. All this utility going out towards B is all but a ruse, as Pure will charge in. Anderson is taken out by Waldo. Loki will try one, but Sharky will get one more. Ryan 2K one on the lurk, but nothing further. 2v2, a big chance for RBG to bring this to OT. They might not have a kit, Kieran, but they still have an AK. They have a FAMAS.
Why is Auto Direct watching this guy's butt right now? Okay, there we go. We changed.
But what? You didn't like the view?
I mean, quite honestly, but I want to see the amazing view that RBG are going to see as they go. Well, it looks like train spotting over towards A as they try to go for this retake. It's all up to Hex. Lonesome. His teammate has fallen, and he has absolutely zero response to it. Thunder Logic, they've just damn done it, I believe. They burned off so much time off the clock. I think it's the beginning of the end for RBG's hopes and dreams to make it to the grand finals. Hex is fighting with his life, but no, it's not enough. Thunder Logic successfully pulled off the upset, upsetting everybody, myself included. I cannot believe it's actually happened.
Yeah, they finally did it. It was a no-scope to finish it off as well, Kieran.
Oh,
and that is style points for Inshaniak there. That is pure, unadulterated style points.
I've never seen anything purer
from Thunder Logic.
Actually mind-blowing. Just words, quite honestly, no words. That's just wonderful. Thunder Logic, again, I think we all kind of counted them out on Train. RBG have had a pretty good record on it. You know, they're 3-0, but I mean, Thunder Logic, they can swing with the big ones. They can swing with RBG as well. The seed number 2 in advance have been effectively knocked down one more time, and Christ, I mean, we're not going to be seeing a third map tonight.
No, I'm afraid we're not going to be blessed with more Counter-Strike tonight. But Thunder Logic have made their way to the grand finals of ESEA Advanced Season 34 with a map advantage and a best of 5. And this is a team that is trying to get back to MDL. But folks, we have been planning this giveaway since we hit 500 followers here on Twitch, and it's about to happen now. If you haven't already entered, type hashtag giveaway in chat. Again, there's hashtag giveaway in chat. There's 200 people watching right now, and I only see 28 entries on the screen.
God, you're saying that I don't have to make any more puns about doing, joining the giveaway? Oh, thank God, that's the
you
best
don't
news
have
I've heard all night.
to be shrouded in shadow.
Okay. I like it. That was cute. That was unique.
They are the ninja daggers.
They are.
Or another word that some Counter-Strike people are fond of calling them, which I will not say on a PG-13 stream. Light knows what I'm talking about. Light knows what I'm talking about.
I'm not gonna try to push my luck. I am well aware, but look, you could own these very fancy daggers. Yeah, you're right. Let's just call them daggers. Oh wow! Glad people are involved. I wish I could actually join this giveaway as well, but I'm pretty sure that would be collusion. Or
it would not be good.
it would not be good. So I will abstain, but you guys are able to get all your fancy toys.
Yep. Don't forget to enter that giveaway, because we're gonna roll it at 25 minutes past the hour. Guys, you have about 20 seconds left before we're gonna roll this giveaway. No. Type your entries.
I think your clock is a little bit off, man. I don't know.
Type your entries.
I'm giving people a little more time. 25.
Just a little more time. All right. Last call. Lights are flashing. Enter the giveaway now. But here it goes.
Bruh.
One more. Let's roll it.
We're just trying to stall. I think it's
Let's see who gets it. Let's roll it. And our grand winner is
Cilantro.
Cilantro.
I like it. I like that name.
Okay,
that's probably most creative name I've heard so far. You got to go ahead and type in the chat my lovely pal, my new knife owner, my new toy owner. He's not in chat. He said no and left. Oh my God, why did you leave? You won, you dummy. Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry, Cilantro. I didn't mean it. You're not a dummy. You're smart. I thought you left. I was almost concerned. All right, well, hey, congrats, man. You've won your fancy little toys, rustic toys. And I mean, I think from here on out, Boggs, do you want to go ahead and play us out? Do you have any final thoughts, or do you want me to, I guess, keep on talking about this game, because there is a decent amount to take away from it?
Well, I think for RBG, they had a bit of a mental problem where they get a little too nervous, and it's something that they've had to deal with for a long time. They've come to the brink of MDL, but failed every single time so far. And I think that kind of came into play here, especially after getting absolutely clapped on Dust 2. There was no question about it. They had their world rocked. It was a first-round knockout. And in terms of Train, if RBG got off to a slightly better start, they win that map, and they push it to nuke. But Thunder Logic still had that momentum coming in from Dust 2. It came down to the wire, but Thunder Logic just pushed over the line. Their unadulterated fragging power, particularly I think Pure, was one of the most impactful players of that Thunder Logic roster in that T set of Train. Another person to note, Brian 2K had himself a whale of a series.
I know.
But overall, it was a great showing from Thunder Logic. They've earned that map advantage. And now RBG have a date with Third Impact. Two of the longer standing cores in Advanced. And I think that is going to be a very fun matchup. But folks, if you've enjoyed this cast so far, if you enjoyed this cast tonight, please do leave a follow on the Twitch channel. Hit that little heart button down below the video player. Please do follow us on Twitter as well at Ponage_TV, just same way as you see it there on the Twitch name. If you're lazy, just copy that and post it into the Twitter search bar. It'll pop right up. But Kieran, I've had a pleasure casting with you. If you want to follow my partner here, Ito, it's at ItoKP on Twitter. I myself am at BogCS on Twitter. And we hope you all have a fantastic night, and we'll see you next time for the lower bracket finals of ESEA Advanced.